Hey guys, so this is gonna be a review of the Redmi 4 and the version I've got is the 302 variant, and you can also get the 216 or the 464 variant, but my needs are met with this one, so I bought this one. The thing is, I only use one SIM card, so I can use the hybrid SIM slot for the expandable storage, and I think 3 GB of RAM should be enough. I think the 4 GB won't be that much of an upgrade over this one. So let's start off with the design of this phone. Now from the back, it sort of looks like an iPhone. It has got that nice matte touch to it, and from the front it just looks like an S8 mini version. Now some of the things I like about the built-in design of this phone are this infrared sensor, which not even the flagship phones have these days, the satisfyingly fast fingerprint scanner, and a lot of you may not know this, but this has a nice little LED notification light just below the home button. It just brightens up when you get a notification, and I'm very serious when I say this. I think this is one of the best looking phones ever made. So yeah, enough about built-in design, let's get into the performance of this thing. Now the Redmi 4 is powered by a Snapdragon 435 SoC. It has got 8 cores, and performance wise in day-to-day tasks you'll find no lag, no nothing. And for intensive tasks like heavy gaming, this phone is more than good enough. Now as you can see, I'm playing a lot of heavy games and I see no lag whatsoever while playing them, and this is a truly good phone performance wise. Only when I'm playing the heaviest of titles like Asphalt 8 did I notice just a little bit of lag and a little bit of heating. But that should not worry anyone, and the heating is just because it is a metallic back phone and they do tend to heat up, but the heat isn't so much that it should worry you. It's just a part and parcel of having a metal back phone. And Xiaomi has also pointed out that even the little bit of lag you see in this phone these days will be sorted out after a future update. Now let's jump into the cameras of this phone. The rear camera is a 13 megapixel rear camera with a single flash, and the front shooter is a 5 megapixel, which is more than enough at this price point. The images are nice and sharp. Even at night you get some decent images. It is not like the Redmi phones of yesteryear. You get nice crispy images, good detail and nice saturation in these photos. And as you can see, I've got some sample images going on the screen, and it even takes very decent selfies. Now this is the only department that the phone lags behind in. The only choices other than this phone you can make because of the camera factor are, I think, the Honor 6X or the Moto G5 Plus, and none of the phones other than those two can beat this phone in the camera department. Now let's just jump into the display of this phone. Now this is powered by a 5-inch HD display. This is not a full HD display, this is just an HD display, and because of that 5-inch form factor you can easily use this phone one-handed very nicely. I've seen a lot of people struggle with huge phones, the 5.5-inch ones, and this I think is just the perfect size. I don't know why other manufacturers are not producing phones in this sort of way, in the 5-inch variant. Now overall the display is nice saturation, nice viewing angles, no problem with it whatsoever. But if you are used to higher end phones, you'll quickly notice that this is just a sort of meh display. It can get the job done, but it's not that good. But then again, if this is your first smartphone or you're very used to budget smartphones, this can easily be the best display you've had. Now let's move on to one of the biggest features of this phone, the massive 4100 mAh battery. Now this massive battery combined with the only 5-inch and not full HD display of this phone give you some outstanding results, and screen on times I've had with this phone range from about 7 to 8 hours, which is easily 1.5 to 2 days with very high usage. Now coming on to the third best thing I like about this phone apart from the battery and the design is the software that it runs, and this phone runs MIUI 8.2.4, which is Xiaomi's latest and greatest. And if you've had a Xiaomi phone, you should know that Xiaomi don't skimp on MIUI updates. They can skimp on Android updates, but they never skimp on MIUI updates. And some of the things that make this phone great are some of the software features like Quick Ball, which can let you do many of the things you want right on the home screen with just one hand. And this is something I really like about this phone. Some of the other features include 3-finger screenshots. And one of the best feature I like about the software is you can do this to get the notification panel down. You don't have to drag it right up from here. You can just swipe your finger right over here to get the screen down. So yeah, software wise this phone is packed with a lot of features. And also being a Xiaomi phone, you should know that it has thousands of wallpapers and thousands of themes just custom made for this phone from Xiaomi itself, which you can freely download. So now that I've given you an overview about this phone and talked about some of the things I really like about this phone, I'm just going to talk about some of the things that annoyed me the most about this phone. Now the first thing is the charging cable that the phone comes with. Now this cable is just 700 millimeters long, and what happens when I plug this into my wall outlet is that the phone has to hang like this because the cable isn't long enough. Now this was never a case with the previous cables, they were adequately long enough. So yeah, this is one thing I don't like about this phone. Now the second thing I don't like about this phone is they give you everything in this phone you need really. Everything from a fingerprint scanner to the infrared sensor to that nice design to that nice display and everything else really. But what you don't get in this phone is these buttons you see. Those are not backlit. Now I understand this is a budget phone, but come on Xiaomi, you've given me everything I need really for 9,000 and you should not skimp on this actually. They could have just completed the deal by making these keys backlit. So yeah, that is the second thing I don't like about this phone. And yeah, coming to the third and last thing I don't like about this is the speaker placement. Now when you want to play games on this phone, what happens is your hands are positioned like this on the phone, obviously for gaming, but what this does is sort of blocks out the speaker, and this just blocks out the sound and sort of ruins the experience. And yeah, these are the only three things I don't like about this phone, and these are, I know, sort of nitpicking on what is a really great phone, but yeah, those are definitely the things I don't like about this phone. So the overall verdict on this phone is that this is one of the best low budget phones and even mid-range phones you can buy these days. And I think apart from the Honor 6X, there is no other phone to buy in the market. The only other budget or sort of mid-range phone that I can recommend other than this one is the Moto G5 Plus, and that costs around 17,000 rupees, which is 8,000 more than this one. So yeah, that just tells you how good this phone is, and you should definitely buy this one if you're looking for a budget or a mid-range phone. So yeah, that is it guys, that is the review of the Xiaomi Redmi 4. Do like and subscribe if you found my views agreeable, and I'll see you in the next one.